Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Anne. If you love affordable fragrances, you are in the right place. This is Scentolutions_ME, and all we talk about here is affordable fragrances. We love a good bargain. We like to smell nice, but we don't want to break the bank. So welcome on board. And if you haven't subscribed and you like this vibe, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell too, so you know when I post a new video. Today, I wanted to give you my thoughts on Lovely Cherie. It's by Maison Alhambra. So this is what it looks like. Definitely, they've tried to copy the Tom Ford's Lost Cherry because that's what this is an interpretation of. And they did it all the way to the shape of the bottle. So it's not the same, but there's slight similarities, okay? So I'm going to talk about Tom Ford's Lost Cherry first before I talk about, Lovely Cherie, and then we talk about the differences or similarities or both. Lost Cherry. So I've been trying Lost Cherry for the past, I would say 2-3 weeks, thereabouts, because I wanted to be able to do a proper comparison. I didn't want to rush. I had used a decant of Lost Cherry about a year ago. Yes, I think it was about a year ago. But I kind of wanted to remind myself of the details of the scent, with that scent, so that I could do a proper comparison. Let's start. Lost Cherry is very luxurious. I think we start with that. It's a luxurious, very well blended scent. So, I mean, of course, it's Tom Ford, so I don't expect any less. Putting that out there for, context before we dive in. Starts off with a very sparkly, juicy, sweet, very candyish cherry opening. So it kind of reminds me of, the maraschino cherries that you find on your forest cakes or as a dressing for drinks, like you find in a Shirley Temple, that kind of thing. Those are the kinds of visuals that come to mind when I smell that cherry. It's so sparkly. So the maraschino cherries are typically pumped with sugar. They're preserved in sugar, and then flavored with either almond oil or any other type of flavoring. So they are preserved, they're sugary, they're sweet. That's it. Now, this cherry scent lasts for about an hour, hour and a half, after which it goes into the boozy cherry liqueur vanilla realm. Okay, so that bit is extremely indulgent. That's actually the part of this that I like best, because then you're getting plum, which has its own sexiness to it, and then you're getting the cherry liqueur, combo, and then you're getting that vanilla. Oh my god, so stunning, very indulgent, that bit of the fragrance. And then as it continues with this indulgent, intoxicating scent, it never ever goes into the medicinal route, which is what some cherry fragrances tend to do, is that they tend to smell like cherry flavored cough syrup. You don't get that with this. It's a beautiful scent all the way through. But after the 1.5 hour mark, you pretty much don't get the cherry again. So after this vanilla cherry liqueur combo thing happens, the cherry goes away, and then you're going to the final dry down, which gives you a slightly smoky vanilla and a nutty accord that's from the almonds, and then you're also going to get some tonka. So the dry down is the vanilla almond tonka combo, the middle is the boozy cherry vanilla combo, and the beginning is that candied sweet cherry burst. I hope that explains it. Now, in terms of longevity, this perfume, after about an hour or an hour and a half, becomes very much a skin scent, but it becomes like a creamy, smoky, vanillic skin scent. So you're going to get wafts of it. It smells really nice, but it's not going to project. It's not, you're not going to leave a scent trail, none of that. Any projection or sillage that you were going to create would have been in the first hour of this fragrance. So that's Lost Cherry. This perfume, I think it retails for about 300 and something dollars, somewhere between 300 or to $350 for a 50 ml bottle. I don't know if that has gone up, but the last time I checked, that was what it was. That's a whole lot for perfume, to be honest. Oh my god, especially if the perfume is not going to last that long. But I digress. Let's get to Lovely Cherie. Lovely Cherie, interestingly, has all the same notes as Lost Cherry. So it has your cherry, bitter almond. It has something called griot. Griot is like a, I've only seen it, like when I checked online, I saw on all the sites, I saw it in like Czech Republic currency. The name of the drink is griot and it's like a cherry liqueur. So in Lovely Cherie, they've indicated specifically griot, but in Lost Cherry, they just said liquor in the opening. Anyway, so it's got that cherry, bitter almond, and the griot syrup. And then it's got cherry, plum, Turkish rose. Then you've got at the base, tonka vanilla, Peru balsam, cinnamon benzoin, sandalwood, cloves, cedar, patchouli, and vetiver. That is the note structure, which is almost 100% similar to what you have in Lost Cherry. However, the way that this interprets is different. So Lovely Cherie starts off like a cherry note, but it's not as sweet, right? So it's almost like the other one is like, you know, the way you have a fizzy drink, a fizzy pop, and the cherry in Lovely Cherie is like a cherry juice. So it's not pop, it's like just cherry juice. Okay, so you have that, and then it's with there's a slight greenness to it, a slight nuttiness and greenness coming from the bitter almond. Now I have this perfume called Castel Bajac Beautiful Day. It's not a very common perfume. It's a Parisian perfume, but the almond there is very intense, and I'm showing it because if you have it, it would remind you of what I'm talking about. Or better still, let's use one that is more commonly known. So if you took hypnotic poison, you reduced the vanilla, you reduced the sweetness, if any, and then you left the almond part of it and made it a little greener and bitter. That is the kind of almond you're going to see in the opening with some cherry. So the cherry in the opening of this does not come through as being alive and lively, and no, it's very muted. You're going to smell it, but it's so well balanced by the almond. So you're going to get that interplay of sourness and nuttiness. That's what you're getting in the opening. It's like sour, slightly bitter, slightly sweet, undulating like that. Now, when you get to the middle of this, you're going to get hints of the vanilla, right? You know, I said that in Lost Cherry, in the middle is a boozy vanilla. In this one, there's no booziness. The only hint of alcohol I get is in the opening, and it kind of smells like, you know, perfumer's alcohol. That this, I don't get the cherry liqueur thing the way I get it in Lost Cherry. You're not getting that here. The booziness here is almost absent. So that's one difference, right? The opening is greener, is bitter, it's not as indulgent and sweet, no. And then, of course, the booziness is not there. And the middle of this one is slightly vanillic, and then you're going to get a slight earthiness. And I reckon that's coming from the patchouli. So this is slight vanilla, slight greenness, like I said, from the patchouli, and then a slight spiciness. But all these things are so muted that it's almost as if I go and nurse meat to this fragrance at different stages, honestly. And then the cherry actually in this one stays from the beginning of the fragrance all the way to the end. The concentration never really changes. So you're always going to get that cherry, but it's there, but it's almost like it's not there. I don't know. I just couldn't really smell or feel this fragrance. Let me put it that way. Compared to Lost Cherry. Yes, the cherry in Lost Cherry went away after an hour, but at least while it was around, I felt its presence. So essentially, major differences Just to recap, Lovely Cherie, slightly bitter in the opening. The opening is not as candy sweet as Lost Cherry. It's not as effervescent. It's not as juicy. It's not as bright. It's not as sparkly as Lost Cherry. The middle has little to no booziness as opposed to Lost Cherry, which has like a boozy, juicy, plummy, cherry-like middle. The base has more greenness and slight spiciness, while the base of Lost Cherry is more on the smoky vanilla side. So those are the slight nuances and differences between these fragrances. And if you just want a cherry fragrance, $20, I would just say that this is not the best interpretation of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. I would say maybe a 50% similarity or 60% at best. And that's just because they have cherry. Everything else, this kind of goes in a totally different direction. So there you have it, guys. My son has come into the room. He wants something from me, so I'm going to have to stop recording now. But I hope I've been able to explain the differences to you. Let me know what you think. Have you used this fragrance? Do you feel the same way? Have you tested the two? What do you think? And I hope I've been able to help you make your buying decision as well. So till I see you again on another video, enjoy the rest of your day or night. Thank you for watching and bye.